Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and everything in between. Uh, this is an Old Man Rambles bit. I have like a half-formed thought, so I'm going to try and work through it while I talk and ramble. But let's first go over where this thought came from, where this started from. I recently did a review of the Fallout TV series. The gentleman on the screen behind me is Timothy Kane, the creator of the creator of the Fallout video game series. He was lead programmer and designer and producer of Fallout 1. He was also the producer of Fallout designer and producer and programmer of Fallout 2. His company was bought out by Bethesda, so he didn't work on any of the following Fallout games, but he created the Fallout series and was a major force behind both Fallout 1 and Fallout 2. He loves the show, by the way. The creator of the Fallout video game series loves the show. What made me want to talk about something is reactions I've seen from people about the show itself. Both people who don't like the show and who are critical of the show, but also being critical of people who like the show. I received a response to one of my comments on someone else's review, not on my own, but his response was, I was a fan of the first Fallout game. I'm that old. And I'm like, bitch, please. That's my children's age, basically. This guy's basically around the same age as my children and saying he's that old. So gatekeeping there. Also, that's just what his MCU generation is just, geared to liking this worthless BS. Again, not the MCU generation. So it's this arrogant gatekeeping. Oh, I liked this way back when, so I'm a real fan. That is just it. I don't get it. I've made references to, I guess, similar references, but I'm not trying to gatekeep. I've more along the lines of like, I've referenced that I watched Star Wars when it was in the theaters. I watched Labyrinth when it was in the theaters. I know, but not in essence to claim that I'm the real fan or that I really know what this is about, but more along the lines of like, okay, I'm not just some random Yahoo. I did stand in line for an hour to see Star Wars in the theaters in 1977, and then got back in line and saw it again the same day. I'm not trying to gatekeep saying that I know Star Wars better than someone else, just to let people know that I was there on the ground day one. And I guess not gatekeeping, but to say that perhaps my opinion might have some weight because I was there on launch day. When I'm making comparisons between the newer films, the prequels and the sequels, and the original trilogy, I'm not, I make my comments based on saying that I'm not necessarily looking at this through rose-colored glasses. I'm aware of what happened before. I'm aware of D&D when it was in the red box. I remember when Pong was the great new thing. I stood in line to play Pong. Again, not trying to gatekeep, just to give you an idea that I remember when these things didn't exist. And that I'm an old fart. I've been around a while. I have seen some things. I've watched movies, played video games. I've never played the Fallout game series, but just because it never really appealed to me, I may go back and play them now that I've seen the TV show and I love the TV show. But, that's beside the point. I've watched lots of movies. I've watched lots of TV shows. I've read lots of books. I know stories. I'm not a professional storyteller. I'm not a writer, but I am familiar with how scenes are constructed, how dialogue is put together, how scenes are blocked out when they're filmed. Again, never having created a film or been in a film, I've been in plays. So I'm familiar with how, a stage can be set up and how it, I know enough to have what I consider to be a valid opinion. No, I'm not a pro, but I'm not trying to shut people out, and it aggravates me when people try to elevate their own opinions above everyone else's, as though other people's observations don't matter as much as theirs. And I really don't get that. And it aggravates me. It does make me angry. Another part of that comment that got to me was that, kids of this generation, it's saying that people who like this stuff aren't any good too, but it's the opinion that because I don't like this, it is therefore not good, and people who like it are not good either. And I don't know why, but I've never had that mentality. I remember being a kid and, a teenager in the late 70s. There were all kinds of things that everyone else loved and I just didn't like. But that doesn't mean it was bad. Everyone loved Charlie's Angels, the TV show. It's like, didn't interest me. But I never thought it was bad. There was certain radio stations that everyone listened to. There was like this top 40 station that I was critical of, because it played the same 20 songs over and over and over again. It played the top 40 and nothing else. It was insanely repetitive, and I could not stand it. But if that's what you wanted to listen to, I might complain if you made me listen to it, even if I liked a lot of the songs. And I did like a lot of the top 40 songs of the late 70s, early 70s, mid 70s, late 70s. I liked a lot of what was on the radio. I just didn't like to hear it ad nauseum repetitive over and over and over again. I might complain that, Christ, I've heard this song, 5 times already today. I don't want to hear it again. I might give you crap about it, but that doesn't mean if you want to listen to the same song 10 times in a row, doesn't make you a bad person, doesn't make the song bad, doesn't make the radio station bad. I'm not a fan of country music. My wife loves it. I might give her crap about it sometimes, but mostly because of the radio station she listens to plays the same 20 songs over and over and over again. Every set they play the same top 20 songs, guaranteed, top of the hour. Drives me nuts. So I'll give her some crap about it, but I don't think less of her because she likes it. Don't think less of other people because they like it. Like I said, and even then, just because I don't like a particular brand of music doesn't mean I'm going to close myself off to it either. I don't like country music, but I've got some country music in my music collection. Not much, but I have some. Don't like rap music. I've got a couple rap albums. I don't like jazz. I've got at least one jazz album. Don't like pop music. I've got at least two pop artists in my collection I can think of off the top of my head. Just because I don't like something but as a general doesn't mean I'm going to close myself off to it. I don't like romance novels. I have read at least one of my wife's romance novels. Not recently. I picked up one out of curiosity just because, this is any good. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. It was a good romance novel. Nice, steamy romance novel. I really liked some parts of it for reasons which I will not go into on a family channel, even though this is not a family channel. But it was a really good novel. I can see why some women like those. And I'll give my wife crap for, watching the Hallmark channel for but again, it's the same thing. It's the same. I don't like it because it's repetitive. And some of those shows just aren't that well done. But I mean, I look at my book collection here, and I will admit that not so much the books I have here, The books I have in storage, there's a lot of fluff in the stuff I read. You know, it's not great literature. I admit it freely. Um, I guess Patricia Briggs maybe falls into that category. Some of her books are really good, but a lot of fluff up there too. But I like it. It's fun. I can admit when the stuff I like isn't very good. I like it just because I think it's fun. But this trashing of people because of what they like, trashing something they don't like because they don't like it. You know, I can't stand Trace Atkins, but he's an amazing guitar player. I can't deny that. Just because I don't personally like him doesn't mean he's a bad musician. Doesn't mean he's a bad songwriter. I can't stand his songs. It's really hard for me to not pounce on Trace Atkins because I really can't stand him. But that doesn't. He's a really good guitar player. I can give the man his due. But yeah, I could never wrap my head around why people would do that. It's never been part of my makeup in any way, shape, or form. To just say that, you know, because I don't like this thing, therefore it is bad, and therefore people who like it are either idiots or bad people or whatever. I've never been able to wrap my mind around that mentality. And it does frustrate me and make me angry to see these comments online. And I guess why they make me angry, why they make me so angry is a topic for another time. Why do I get so angry at stuff I see on the internet? Probably a topic for someone who has a psychology degree, which isn't me. But yeah, that's just the thoughts that have been rattling around in my head for the last couple of days about this gatekeeping and this people who like stuff I don't like are idiots. You know, these kind of two connected things have been bobbling around in my head these, you know, last couple of days since that comment, that's that response to my comment. And yeah, I guess I just kind of wanted to spew for a minute. Just ramble on, I guess. Well, I am an old man rambling. Don't know if there's anything to take from this. I just kind of babbled for 13 minutes. Anyway, I got it out of my head. Good hunting.